good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thank you so much for downloading the Fave Live podcast of Discovery Fellowship Church. I'm your host, Pastor Nathan, here with my co-host, Pastor Matt.
Hey, guys.
And it is deep into December.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, what is it, the 8th when you guys are listening to this?
It's deep enough. It's over a week.
Anytime after Thanksgiving, we're deep
into December. I love it.
We're deep into Christmas season as soon as it starts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we hope you're having a good December then already. As always, if you haven't done so already, please take a minute. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you downloaded this. It helps to hopefully help other people find this podcast. So definitely, if you've never done that, take a minute, leave that review. And of course, if you would like to be a part of the conversation, you can email podcast@dfchurch.com. That's podcast@dfchurch.com. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear where you're listening from. If you're listening or watching, I'd love to know all of that. And actually, Matt, you and I were pulling up a lot of the stats on the podcast.
Okay.
And one of the things that really struck me as interesting was some of the locations. And so if I look at our last 5 episodes, we had a few downloads from Madison, South Dakota. We had some from Chesterfield, Missouri, San Jose, California. Like, if you're in one of these places, because we're here in Colorado, we're in Fort Collins, Colorado. So if you are in one of those places I just named,
let us know that's you.
Let us know that's you. Because it's
awesome.
It's so funny when I look at this. Ashburn, Virginia, we had quite a few. Minneapolis, we've had a few. Conway, Arkansas. Like, wherever you're downloading or listening to this, write us. podcast@dfchurch.com. It's in the show notes as well. You can find that address. We would love to hear from you. Well, let's jump into the news. Now, I feel like we've skipped this the past couple of weeks. And so I think it's important that we talk about what has happened. And the first one, the biggest one, the most important one.
Oh, no.
I was telling you about this morning, Matt. McDonald's spinoff restaurant is now, they're opening up one location. It's called CosMcs. Now that's COS, then capital MC. Like,
is it COS
McDonald.
or COZ?
It's COS.
Okay.
I'm looking at it. It's called
That's good.
CosMcs.
At least it's not like 90s.
It's not with a Z, no.
Yeah.
So CosMcs, the logo, apparently they had an extraterrestrial mascot in the 80s and 90s. Was he also called Cosmic?
Yeah, I think so.
And so that is what this is based off. And they've got their menu released. They're opening one store right now in Bolingbrook, Illinois. I don't know why they picked Bolingbrook, Illinois. Maybe that's where McDonald's started. But by the end of next year, they're going to have 10 of them opened, including spots in Dallas, Fort Worth, and San Antonio, but nothing about Fort Collins. I don't know. I hope we're one of the pilot locations because I'd go here.
Really?
Well, so, all right. Looking at their menu, it looks like they're trying to just be Dutch Bros. And I mean, why not? Let's do it. So, like,
well, I'll give you the why not. Dutch Bros is Dutch Bros.
I know.
How about let McDonald's be McDonald's? This is an identity problem, you guys. Be who you were created to be, not try to be someone else.
Here's some of the things on their menu. You've got a churro frappe. You've got s'mores cold brew. You've got a bunch of energy drinks.
Okay, you know what I need? Speaking of churro, I need Disneyland churros here.
Okay,
like, if you can somehow get that to me.
They're probably frozen in a box.
They are actually. There's a specific brand they use, but for some reason, they just taste better walking down Main Street.
All right, but some of the food items, they've got a creamy avocado tomatillo sandwich and spicy queso sandwich.
What?
I don't know. All I'm saying is this looks good-ish. I'd try it. Of course, I've been trying to convince these yahoos here in the studio with me, Matt and Lex, to go get a McRib today because they're back, baby. That's the other big news. McRib is back.
It's not just today. All day yesterday, he was trying to convince us.
Because I haven't gotten one yet.
The moment that he heard that this rubbery, gelatinous...
They're not rubbery.
Fake pork off the floor of the factory, glued together,
none of these things
covered with mid-barbecue sauce on a stale bun, came back. He's been so excited.
Here's the thing. They're not stale buns. They put so many chemicals in those buns that they will never be stale.
Ew.
Doesn't that make it better?
Oh, man.
It's not stale. Here's the thing. The McRib is like Taco Bell. It's gross, but sometimes it's so good.
Yeah, sometimes.
All right. Real talk. When was the last time you've had a McRib? Ever? It's been 10 years?
It's been so many years
Lex
because
has never had one. Now,
Lex, I'm jealous.
Now, here's the thing. You never tried one. You can't speak about it. You can't talk about the quality.
I have tried, so I can.
It's been a while, and maybe you got a bad one. It's just like any food. Sometimes you can get a bad one.
Yeah, it's called McDonald's. I got a bad one because I went to McDonald's.
Let's then. Do you have any news that you want to talk about other than McRibs and CosMcs?
No, there was some stuff yesterday that I saw that was about how like we're right on the verge of 4 major tipping points that's just going to destroy the earth as far as like how we're not stewarding it well. So that's kind of exciting.
You know, I read somewhere that essentially at this point is impossible to not be constantly consuming microplastics. And now the extent of what microplastics do is still not confirmed. Like we don't know for sure. But we are all constantly ingesting and consuming small microscopic shards of plastic at all times.
Speaking of consuming microscopic shards of things you're not supposed to. So several years ago, I had chipped a tooth like way back here.
Ooh.
And went to a dentist who used to go here, and he kind of put like this like filler thing and like shaped it in whatever, right? Well, about a week ago, I took a bite of something and then there was this crunch that shouldn't have been in there. And so now like it's not the whole thing's out, just like a little part of it.
Yeah.
And so now it's just really, really sharp there.
Yeah, go get it fixed.
Yeah, I need to go get that fixed.
That same dentist I'm assuming you're talking about was really helpful. The last time I accidentally popped a crown off and it was like a Sunday afternoon. And I was like, this is an agonizing pain. Anybody I could go to dentally is closed. I just called him. I still had his number. He's like, yeah, I'll meet you at the office. And he just put it back on for me real quick.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. Can we say, are we allowed to say who people are?
Yeah, thanks, Russ.
Oh, I wasn't thinking Russ.
Oh,
sorry.
See, that's awesome. I love it. So we had several dentists
I
to go here.
assumed the same one, but no, thank you, Dr. Connect.
Yeah, mine was Dr. Posey. Yep.
Oh, Dr. Posey and Dr. Connect. 2 great dentists
and just nice guys.
Is Dr. Posey still practicing?
I think he retired.
I think he retired. Yep. Dr. Connect, though, still practicing. Awesome.
Sweet.
All right, well, let's jump into our main topic then, unless you had another. You said that was your news, was that your tooth broke?
Yeah. Okay. Let's jump into the main topic because, like, if I'm honest,
yeah,
a little moment of transparency. Okay. I heard that you guys like us being real, so I've often talked about how like Christmas is my favorite.
Yeah,
I've not felt it this year. Like I've been a little more Grinchy this year than any year past. I like set up the Christmas tree super early and was like really excited going into the season, and it's just been kind of mid. Like I didn't
force it.
I didn't put up as many decorations in my house outside. I put the lights up on the roof, and like I go really high, and it's really dangerous and scary.
So scary.
And like they worked when I first put them up. I got down because I tested every light. Got down that night. There's a whole strip along the side of the highest peak of my house that's off, and I was just like, I was bitter. I was like, this is stupid.
It is.
And so I don't know if that set the scene or it's just like the other stressors of life right now. They're just kind of bringing me down. Like my hope and my joy is still in Jesus. I'm just not as like, I'm not as Buddy the Elf this year. I'm a little bit more like the Grinch. And so I'm hoping that today's topic, Nathan, that you'll introduce here helps bring some of that out for me.
So I've hung most of my Christmas lights, but I was missing a spot to connect via extension cord. So that just came in, and then I need the spot that actually plugs into the wall. I have to hang a few lights there. So hopefully
they're hung but not on yet.
Yeah. So hopefully they all work. I plugged them in before I hung them, the ones that I was hanging. So I think they're fine. So here's a weird question, Matt, before we get into our main topic about Christmas lights.
Wait, our main topic is Christmas lights?
No, before we get to that, I said.
Right.
Before we get to the main topic, which is not Christmas lights, here's a question about Christmas lights and their effect on the world around them. Okay. The spot that I'm going to hang them along the wall, coming from like where my door and the outlet are, they're going to go along the wall and then connect to the ones that go to the roof. Okay. Follow me so far.
I'm trying to picture your house. So I'm
if you walk up, it's right on the right-hand side. All along that wall is where the Christmas lights are going to go. Now, they're going to be hanging where they recently just ran my fiber optic cable for my internet.
Okay.
Does the electricity field generated by Christmas lights disrupt? It shouldn't do anything.
That is highly doubtful that it would disrupt fiber optic. Are your lights LED or are they incandescent?
Those are incandescent, I believe. Okay. I was just thinking more of the electricity. Doesn't it create like a field of electricity? It shouldn't mess it up, right? Especially because It's fiber optic, which means it's just light.
Yeah, it's the fiber optic is just magic. Like
it is magic.
It's not really technology. I think it's literally magic.
It's a tiny, flexible tube that can perfectly transmit light no matter how much it twists and turns.
And somehow that equals gigabit downloads.
Well, I get that part because all you have to,
magic.
No, because here's the thing. Everything is binary, right? Everything on a computer is a 1 and a 0.
Right.
So that thing can turn on and off very fast.
Yeah.
Very, very fast. And so your other end of it is just looking, is the light on or off?
But how does light
so fast?
How does light download the Polar Express in 20 seconds?
All right. Because light goes really fast, they can transmit a bunch of 1s and 0s
through a completely
instantly.
Flexible line.
That's what makes it cool. That the light can go through without getting interrupted. Because most of the time, if I go like this, the light hits it and stops. So if it can turn the photons are moving through a little tube of magic.
Oh, there you go. A
Christmas
tube of magic. All right. See, Christmas spirit up.
All right. Christmas magic. So hopefully this will get your Christmas spirit up, Matt. What we're going to talk about today kind of is inspired a little bit by the AI list last week, which it gave us its top 10 Christmas songs of all time. And we decided instead of, because you mentioned, hey, next week, let's just bring our own top 10 lists. Yeah. And instead of making that just a little one-off thing, we thought, let's talk about that as our topic. What are our top 10? Now, I think we're going to not do them in order. So what are our 10 favorite Christmas songs?
We each made a list of 10 songs that we like.
10. Okay. And so that's just fun. This is like going to be a little more laid back of an episode. So it'll be fun. We're going to talk through our top 10 Christmas songs. We're also going to talk about when they intersect with things theologically.
Okay.
Is that accurate?
Yeah. Okay.
If they even do, first of all, it's a question. Do these actually hit at what Christmas is really about?
Yeah.
And that can be as much as explicitly referencing like Jesus.
Right.
It might be about talking about peace on the earth and goodwill towards men.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask a quick question as we get into this.
Yeah.
Because I think this will help our listeners kind of know where we're coming from.
Okay.
As Christians. Because we talked about some of like the myths of Christmas and why it's okay for us to celebrate those things last week, right? Okay. Why we can put up a tree, why we can have lights, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Is it okay for us to listen to music that's about a holiday that we supposedly celebrate the birth of Jesus, but the song is completely contrary to that part of the Christmas celebration? As Christians, can we enjoy that?
Depends on the song. Maybe, because some of the songs are terrible. I'm just kidding. It doesn't really depend on the song, but there's some songs that if I could like ban, maybe I would.
And that's just like a personal preference thing.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
But yes, as an overall thing, I think so, because yes, that's what we're celebrating Jesus with this holiday. And as we'll talk about, some of these are still going to touch upon those themes, even if they're not explicitly about Jesus. But at the same time, that's like asking, can you as a Christian listen to any song that's not about Christian things? Right. And I think the answer is yes.
Yeah.
I think the answer is yes. I saw, I'm a part of like a worship Facebook group of like worship leaders and things like that. And there was somebody on there who was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I just found out one of the members of my team went to a concert that was secular, and I don't know if they should be allowed to be on my worship team anymore. And I was thinking, holy moly, are you really gonna say like we cannot do any, like that completely eliminates our ability to have a connection in our society? And how are we ever going to be an effective witness to people in our society if there is no common ground and cultural connection?
Well, it would be like me complaining about Jesus going and talking to a woman, a Samaritan woman, alone at the well. If you don't know the Bible story I'm talking about, right? Like,
right.
No, that's silly.
It is silly.
Yeah. So our perspective, just so you guys know,
right,
we're more than fine with you consuming media that's not explicitly like scripturally based, because what our encouragement to you would be was you look at everything in the world through that biblical worldview, right?
Right.
I don't know if we've really done a podcast about like worldview and what that looks like
next year.
Every single one of our podcasts, the reason this is the Faith Life podcast is because we're looking at things that happen in our world and in our life through a biblical worldview and helping you to navigate that. And so I think even through our songs, we can enjoy things as long as they aren't like corrupting my heart. They're not explicitly sinful. They're not an idol. Like we've talked about all of these things.
All of those things are all the caveats that you could put in. But it's like, I think that, beauty is beauty, art is art, and God is the author of beauty and art and creativity. And so I can see, a beautiful painting or hear a piece of music that moves my emotions and appreciate that God has created us with this creativity and ability to create things that are beautiful and moving.
All right, we'll see if any of these songs we come up with are actually beautiful or moving, or if I just went totally the opposite direction.
All right, I'll start with my number. I numbered these, so I'm going to start at the bottom of my list, but these aren't necessarily in that order.
Okay.
So let's just talk through them. So the first one I'll say then, you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking about songs I like.
Yeah.
That are Christmas songs.
Okay.
And I really like that one, the low voice. But then maybe part of the connection with me is that whole movie, I just love. It's a good Christmas movie. Any of them but the live action. I like the newer animated, the older animated.
I think what we're going to try and do is we're just going to play a couple seconds.
That's right. We are going to play a little bit.
The Thurl Ravenscroft version?
Yes. Okay. Yes, the original animated version. We'll play a little bit of it for you.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch.
See, that puts me in a Christmas mood right there. As soon as I hear that, I think about watching that movie.
That's hilarious that
so fun.
That's the song that puts you in a Christmas mood. You're a mean one. I love it.
Was that one on your list, Matt?
It was not on my list.
That's okay.
Here's the thing. This list was really hard for me.
Yes.
Because I like Christmas. I like Christmas music. Mm-hmm. I have a Christmas playlist on Spotify with 790 songs on it, 46 hours and 36 minutes. And there are a lot on there that you've probably never heard. And so it was really hard to just pick 10 songs that I like. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's hear one of yours.
Yeah. I'm going to start with It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to play Andy Williams version real quick.
Okay.
That big band action right there. I do like that. This is a vibe.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's got that old-timey crooner voice.
Yeah, I love the ding-dong part.
The ding-dongs, yeah.
See, that part's good too.
Super fun
that wasn't
song.
on my
this
list,
one,
but it might have to be.
This one gets me in the mood of Christmas. I like just that start. It's the most wonderful time of the year because normally outside of this year, I think that, right? This is the most fun. I love the lights. I love the music because it's just like a complete shift and change. Yeah. All of a sudden, every radio station stops playing their same 5 songs. Now they play the same 5 Christmas songs. They just play it. Wow, bless you. They just play those same 5 Christmas songs over and over. It's just fun how everything radically shifts for 30 plus days. So
I think that is fun. Yeah. Okay. I like that one. Now on these first 2, are any of these, is there anything theological that you want to pull out of either of them?
I mean, look, we can honestly have some conversations about both of the songs and find things that
we could. Yeah, for instance, the Grinch movie, the whole point is not that the Grinch is a good guy, but he learns his lesson. And the story of it is he learns that Christmas isn't about the gifts.
Right, but what about that song specifically? Because you chose that song.
Well, that song specifically, the religious significance is that we're all mean ones. We're all mean sinners.
Ones. Yeah, there's no one good, not even one.
Short.
I love that. And it's the most wonderful time of year. That's really just about all the fun and gathering together as a family. Right. There's a lot of talk about loved ones gathering together, caroling. The weirdest line though, and I actually saw a video about this where they were kind of going around almost that 70s show opening sequence where they just went around this circle panning to each person's face. Yeah. So they do this in this video. It's the most wonderful time of the year is the first person line, with kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. Yep. Happiest season of all. Friends come to call. Yep. And then there'll be parties for hosting, one person says. Next person, marshmallows for toasting. Next person, and caroling out in the snow. Then you get to this fourth guy, and he's dressed kind of creepy. And he's like, there'll be scary ghost stories.
That's
And
so
it's like-
funny. Yeah, that's true.
That's
But
the one line in the song that I'm like, I don't know if like that's a part of my
it is.
my
It-
Christmas,
it
except
should
a
be.
Christmas carol.
That's why that's in
Right.
there. The
Yeah.
Christmas used to be associated with scary ghost stories. And I
It's so
kinda
fun.
like that.
All right. But yeah,
All right.
there's nothing in there explicitly about Jesus, but I'm reminded about how he wired us for a relationship with each other, and this song talks about that. So, all right, what's next?
All right, next. And I don't have a specific version of this in mind, but Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Yes.
Now, this one is just good. It's just classic. It just feels nice to hear it. It's like a warm hug of a song.
I'll just play the classic Frank Sinatra
Yeah,
version.
Sinatra one's
you.
probably
Yep.
the best one.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light.
Quick question for you:
Yeah,
do you like Frank Sinatra?
he's fine.
All right.
Why?
I do.
I mean, I don't have.
I
a
enjoy
problem with
listening
it.
to
I don't
whole
know if
Rat
I
Pack,
ever
like
go
all of
out of
them.
my way to listen to Frank Sinatra, but I'll never be upset when he comes on.
Okay,
How's that?
that's fair. I like that.
Yeah, I love that song. Is just nice, and it's also because there's almost like a tinge of melancholy to it.
Yeah.
Like it's a little bit sad.
Yeah, it's if the fates allow,
Yeah,
like we'll be together,
Yeah.
and yeah,
But that's nice. I like it.
and the line "next year all our troubles will be miles away,"
Which implies you've got a lot
which
of them
implies
right
there's
now.
a lot of trouble right now. So man, I'm gonna
Aw.
have to see because I'm a little bit grinchy this year
Yeah.
and a little melancholy.
Yeah.
I think this might
That
have
might
to be my anthem.
Oh, I like it.
Okay,
All right.
next
Was that one on your list?
No.
So far, we haven't had a crossover. All right, let's
Okay.
hear yours next one.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Oh, I like this one.
It's fun. Sorry, I'm a little slow on the Spotify today.
That's okay.
I don't want that version, but that's the first one that popped up.
That's the first one that popped up. That's the one we're gonna hear.
All right, here you go. If we get to any lyrics before our time runs out,
Yeah, we legally can only play like 15 seconds of these.
we can skip forward here. That was a 30-second intro, so.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Everywhere you go.
All right, we'll pause it there.
'Kay.
That was Michael Bublé's version. It's probably not my favorite. I might have
It's
chosen
fine.
like Bing Crosby or
Michael
Perry
Bublé's
Como.
fine.
He's fine.
You have a Josh Groban version, maybe.
Some Josh Groban. There's a lot of weird lyrics in this song that
Okay.
don't necessarily make sense to us in our context today.
Sure.
Like a pair of hop-along boots and a pistol that shoots is the wish of Barney and Ben. Dolls
they?
that talk and will go for a walk is the hope of Janice and Jen. And mom and dad can hardly wait for school to start again. Now that line right there,
That resonates.
that resonates a
That's
little bit
deep.
sometimes. I look forward to Christmas break every year and just getting to hang out with the kids.
Yeah.
But then like the routine that we have
Right.
when school is back in session, it's just kind of a funny line. Yeah, as people start decorating and it slowly looks more and more like Christmas, I love it. And so this song reminds me of that.
Okay, so you made me think of something. This is a little bit of a tangent, but I'll hit it real quick because, again, if we're each doing 10 songs, this is going to take us 10 hours
Yeah.
at our current pace. But real quick, you hit up, you mentioned there's a few lines in this that don't quite make sense to us in our context.
Yeah.
And that made me think of, I don't know if this is technically a Christmas song, but it's a winter song,
Okay.
which is the song Baby It's Cold Outside.
Yeah.
Now, that song recently gets a lot of fire under it
Yes.
because people are like, oh, this song is inappropriate. It seems like he's trying to take advantage of this poor woman and maybe he's drugging her and all this stuff. I did some research on that, though, just even in the past few days. And at the time, there's a lot of phrases, expressions, and things that are used in that song that it's actually she's trying to say that she wants to be there, but be
Right.
socially appropriate with the way she says it.
Right.
It's not anything bad at all. So to quote unquote cancel that song is silly
Right.
because in its cultural context, it's totally a fine song. Now, here's why I think this is interesting. That song, when was it written? In the 50s, 40s, somewhere in there.
Sure, yeah.
Let's say it's 70 years old, maybe. Okay. It's in our language, in our country. It's only 70 years ago, maybe a little more. Give it or take a few. And yet a straightforward reading of it we completely misunderstand what they were trying to say. Now,
Right.
why does that matter? Anytime we're talking about Bible study,
Oh, come on.
we are reading something that is in a different culture, potentially between 2,000 and 6,000 years ago, in a different language, that all of these things are there. If we just do a straightforward reading of it without any consideration of original audience, genre, any of that stuff, how do we think we're going to get to a good meaning of it if we can't even do that in our own time, culture, and setting?
Right.
We need to approach our study of the Bible with a little bit more intent to really understand it, not just do a quick, without thinking about it, reading and expect to understand what's being said.
Cultural context is super important.
Yes.
Absolutely. I love that.
Anyway,
That's great.
that's a tangent.
No, that's
But I
good
think
because
it's good.
again, what we talk about here is this intersection of faith and life. And so we can apply that stuff to not just our Bible reading. Let's actually use some good, just common sense looking at the context of things.
Yeah.
Because we do that even with like pastors too, right? Someone will post a clip online of this one like 5-second clip from a sermon where that line taken out of context is heresy. And so we cancel that pastor when you go and listen to the entire sermon.
It all
and
made
it's like,
more
oh,
sense.
it actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah. All right.
All right. Am I up for my next one?
You're up.
All right. And again, I don't have a specific one, but I'm going to trust you to find one. Carol of the Bells.
Okay. So I have Carol of the Bells on mine as
sweet.
well.
I knew we'd finally get some sort of a...
And I prefer
Okay.
the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
I was going to say Mannheim Steamroller, but Trans-Siberian is good as well. They're both really awesome.
Actually, you know what's really funny?
They're the same thing.
No, I wrote Mannheim on my on my list here.
That's funny.
So we're going to go with that one.
Okay. That's fine.
I'll just play a little
Let's
bit.
play it a little bit. I love this one.
I'm going to skip forward some.
Yeah, you want to skip a little bit on this one.
You kind of have that electronic synth happening.
Yes.
I'm going to skip forward again a little bit.
Okay.
Just big, kind of triumphant.
Right, when it
This
hits
one's
the
a
major
little
section.
less like hard rock version, right? Because there's some of that. I don't know. I like the full orchestration of it. I think that's where
The
this
Trans-Siberian
song.
one?
No, even of Mannheim.
Even of Mannheim's.
I think that's where like the fun of it comes in is when you have just this full huge orchestration. There's been a lot of really good versions of this song done.
Yeah, it's a really good
song. A lot
song.
of fun covers.
We had a really good one at our concert this last week.
Yeah, that was fun to do.
Josh's like shredding solo part in that
Yeah,
was so cool.
it kind of shredded, didn't it?
It did.
Yep. Pentatonics did a cover. Loveland High School Choir last night. Well, we're recording on a Thursday, so Wednesday night this week, they actually did it as
that's
well.
fun.
Yeah. So anyway, super fun song. That one also made my list. So
Okay.
see, this is how we
So
start to
that's
get.
how we'll start to get. All right. So do you want me to get my next one then, since
No.
that was yours, or are you going to do one now?
No, I'll do one now.
Oh,
Because I might
creepy.
have one that you have too, right?
That's true. That's
All
true.
right.
That's true.
So I'm gonna go with White Christmas.
I don't have that on my list.
Why? I'm just kidding. You don't have to. So let me play some of that real quick. I have a lot of just like the classic kind of slower.
You do have these classic slower ones. It's nice though.
Of a white Christmas.
All right, so it's a little Bing Crosby singing it. Song was written for the movie,
Right.
which is
I've never seen.
always what?
Yeah.
Oh
I know
my
Lex just
goodness.
watched that, but I have not seen it ever.
Wow. Okay. Here's why I think I like this one so much.
Okay.
I grew up in Southern California.
And you never had it.
There was no such thing as a white Christmas.
And so you dream of it every year.
In fact, Christmas was 80 degrees. Right. So, which was
crazy.
actually kind of fun because the 2 weeks off of school, it was great weather. We played outside. We got like our toys on Christmas and we immediately got to go outside and play with them.
That's kind of nice.
But man, there's just something about snow and Christmas that I love that about Colorado. We don't always have white Christmas, but when we do here, I love it.
It slaps.
Yep. All right. What's next?
All right. You're going to have to find a version of this also. There's only a few that have specific versions on mine.
Yeah.
Silent Night.
Okay.
Now we're getting into like a classic Christmas carol.
Yeah.
Still Nacht, as it was originally called, I believe.
I'm going to give you, let's mix it up.
Mix it up.
How about a female pop artist?
Well, it depends on who. Let's hear it. Oh.
you guess who it is yet? I'm going to pause right there.
I have to guess who it is.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey or Whitney Houston?
It's Mariah Carey.
Yeah. Okay.
This is not my favorite version. This might be one of my least favorites.
Yeah.
I don't like this at all.
I don't know if I care for this version
I'm sorry,
either.
Mariah, but you did
No,
not. You were not successful.
I like this one to be simple and kind of, as the name implies, kind of a stiller, contemplative song.
Okay. I'm going to get you one more version.
Okay.
Let's get forward to the singing. Come on.
If it has any. Here we go.
Here.
Nope. Man. Okay. Yeah, something like this is nice. See, like, this is the song you want to be playing on Christmas Eve when the snow has just started to fall.
I like that.
And the streets are empty because everyone's actually finally home. And you can just kind of finally start to enjoy Christmas when it's almost over. Now, this is one where we can say theologically is probably very inaccurate. I doubt Jesus was just quiet and silent and everything was just nice and neat and holy that night. But
right,
it's a
I
nice
often
song.
like when I'm talking with students about like the Christmas story, we often talk about the chaos of it because like it probably wasn't this just all of a sudden everything.
No, if
peaceful
you
and
ever
calm.
had a kid,
Yeah.
it's not a silent and peaceful event.
But the message behind it,
Right.
I like because it is like this reminder of the peace that Christ brings in
I do like that.
in his coming.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like as you get to the later verses, it might make a little more sense outside of Silent Night. It was a holy night, right? Like that was important.
Yeah, okay.
And verse 3, I love Silent Night, Holy Night, Son of God loves pure light.
Right. And actually, when we get into some of these, and I'm sure we'll both have a few more like traditional carols on, there's some really great lyrics in them that we'll get into. So what's your next one?
So speaking of that,
okay.
How about Come Thou Long Expected Jesus? So
we just sang this
that one made my list.
Wow. Okay.
You're shocked.
I'm shocked.
You're shooketh.
I'm shooketh. Of all the carols, that's not usually high on my list. We just did this at church last week, though, and it was really great.
It's the lyrics, right? So
Right.
Come Thou Long Expected Jesus, born to set thy people free from our fears and sins, release us. Let us find our rest in thee.
Oh, I love
like
it.
this is huge, right? Like
Yeah, that
biblically,
one's
I
good.
think this is good. This is a great summary of like why Jesus came and even like this longing for him, right? Because we talk about how in the Advent season, we remember the birth of Jesus and we long for his second coming. And so even now I can say that first line, Come Thou Long Expected Jesus, and looking forward to his second coming. And so the version that I really like, at least right now, is King's Kaleidoscope.
Okay.
They're kind of a different sound for a lot of people. They might not be as into it, but it's super fun.
Was King's Kaleidoscope in that Christmas movie that's out right now?
I haven't seen that.
Oh, this is a little different.
Uh-huh. I'm going to skip forward a little bit too.
Okay.
It builds up,
Oh. Huh.
and I just love like this build.
I like King's Kaleidoscope. This is good.
Yeah, so Come Thou Long Expected Jesus definitely makes my top 10, at
I
least
like it.
this season.
Okay. Well, let's go a little less holy for my next one. Rocking Around the Christmas Tree.
Really?
I just think it's fun.
That is so fun.
It's just fun. So, I mean, this one just makes you kind of want to be at like a Christmas party, the glass of eggnog.
Yeah, I'm going to give you 4 artists. You choose which one you want.
Oh.
So Brenda Lee, that's going to be your classic
Now,
one.
okay, real quick. Blew my mind. I just learned this week.
Yeah.
Do you know how old she was when she recorded this song?
My guess is she was probably in her late teens.
You're close. 13.
That's the first, that's the early teens. That's the first teen year, not late teens.
13 when she recorded this.
Okay, then I'm going to play that version.
Yeah.
'Cause-
So think about that as you're listening to it. Yeah, well, let's just stick with it.
I love this. This is fun.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
That's why it's on my list.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung
Now, I always think of Home Alone.
Yeah.
when I hear this song,
See,
which
and I
is
think
also fun.
That's huge for a lot of Christmas songs is we have associations with them,
Yeah, that's 100%.
which might add to why we love them so much.
So yeah, there's nothing deep or awesome or special about that. It's just fun.
Here's a question for you guys.
'Kay.
Listeners, let us know. Email us, podcast@dfchurch.com. As you let us know your favorite Christmas songs. This song specifically talks about later we'll have some pumpkin pie and do some caroling. Now, a lot of people, pumpkin pie is only associated with like Thanksgiving.
It's true. That's interesting.
I like pumpkin pie, and I actually really enjoy it at Christmas time too. So
I don't
even though
like
it's
pumpkin
a fall,
pie.
it's a fall
I guess
gourd.
it kind of makes sense though. It's a winter. It's a winter.
It's a winter fruit.
fruit. I don't think
Squash?
pumpkins are fruits.
I mean, they have seeds inside of them.
Does that make it a fruit? Is that
Why
the
not?
only definition of fruit? If it has seeds inside of it, dandelions have seeds in them.
So do cucumbers, and that's a vegetable.
Doesn't every plant have some kind of a seed?
Most likely acorns.
Acorns
know.
are the seeds.
Acorns
Okay.
are the seed.
What's
Rocking
your-
on Christmas.
what's your
Anyway,
next
I
one?
like pumpkin pie. I also like it at Christmas time.
That's awesome.
I grew up with it. I haven't had it a lot at Christmas in Colorado. So
Why not?
I don't know, because I don't know.
All right.
All right.
Bring your pumpkin pie
Um,
next week.
I'm going to go. Okay. I'm going to go with this one next. We're going to say Little Drummer Boy.
Okay. Not on my list.
And
So if we only had one crossover so far,
yeah.
that's awesome.
But here's the thing. Little Drummer Boy by itself, it's okay. Little Drummer Boy when it sounds like this. I'm gonna skip forward some.
Okay.
Skip forward some more. This one's a banger. All right. So this is for King and Country. It is just super fun. And when they have that like cut and then bam, the huge crash back
Right.
in, it's just a super fun song. Now, lyrically, I have no idea what
What
this
is
song's
happening?
about.
So I always think of just various memes I see every year about this. Like this one, it says the text of it: Mary, exhausted, having just gotten Jesus asleep, is approached by a young man who thinks to himself, "What this girl needs is a drum solo."
Right.
Like,
yeah.
well, we've got, the wise men and the shepherds, and of course the kid just
Banging
jamming
his
on a drum.
Yeah. Right. Because if you take out all the pum-pum-pums,
Right.
here's the words of the song.
Okay.
Come, they told me, a newborn king to see. Our finest gifts we bring to lay before the king. So to honor him, when we come,
Me and
you're
my
just
drum.
drumming, right?
Right.
Little baby, I'm a poor boy too. I have no gift to bring that's fit to give our king. So I kind of like this, right?
Yeah.
Because honestly, like, we are poor when it comes to our Savior, right? Poor in spirit, Scripture talks about. We're to humble ourselves before him. I don't have anything that's worthy of celebrating Jesus, so I kind of really like that line. But then he goes on to say, so I'm going to play the drums for you. I don't have anything else, but I played my drum for him. Pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, me and my drum.
All right. Originally, this song was called "Carol of the Drum."
Yes.
That's exciting.
But it was confusing with Carol of the Bells, and it was like, why can't they just play together and have a big orchestra? So
Carol of the Orchestra. I love it. Okay.
oh, it's good. Yeah, that one specifically for King and Country's version, because I think any other version, I'm just like, meh. But that one's fun.
All right.
What's your next one?
Let's go another old school Carol.
Okay.
Angels We Have Heard on High.
Okay.
I like this one mostly because like the melody's good. As soon as you sing it, you're just in like a Christmassy mood. And then you get to the Glorias, and that's
Okay.
just really fun to.
Let's play one.
Okay.
You don't have a version?
No,
All right.
I like all of them. Who's this?
You'll know as soon as he sings. Oh, it's a he.
Oh,
Spoiler alert. Come on, sing quickly.
is this Lincoln Brewster?
No, this
Or
one's
Chris
Chris
Tomlin.
Tomlin. Yeah, there you go.
I get
Chris
them
Tomlin.
confused. Okay.
There's so many versions of this
There's
song.
a million
and
of this
they're fun.
one, and they're just fun to sing.
And I like some of the ones that like will add an extra little chorus from something
Yeah.
else here and there. Just, I mean, all the mashups are super fun, and I
Yeah.
like sometimes when we do this here just to mix it up a little bit. Yeah, that's a fun one. Not on my list, but
Wow.
I will go a similar route with my next one.
Okay.
I'm gonna go "Hark the Herald." However, I'm going to go a very specific version that also has a little bonus action. Rend Collective.
Ooh, I love Rend
has
Collective.
Hark the Herald Angels Sing mixed with Glory in the Highest.
Oh, okay.
Let's skip forward. They're Irish folk.
Yeah.
I love that.
They're great.
I really like his voice. See if we can get to the Glory in the Highest part. I just love that.
I like
Our God
it.
has come to save us. Emmanuel is with us. Super fun song, fun version. I did try in my list to not like repeat artists.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that matters
That-
at all.
I don't know if that matters at all
right.
either.
What's your next one?
Okay, we're gonna go off the deep end a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
This one's gonna be a little bit of a crazy
So,
one.
Can I spoiler alert?
Yeah.
I have a top 10 off the deep end that I created as well.
Okay.
And so maybe when we're done with our main top 10, I just like crank through this
Rapid
super
fire.
quick. Yeah.
I also had 2 honorable mentions
Sweet.
that I have
Okay.
not mentioned
We'll add those
as well.
in our, yeah. All right. What's
But
your
this
deep end?
one, this one's a little crazy, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's called "The Night Santa Went Crazy," and it is by, of course, the one and only
Weird Al.
Sir Weird
Yeah,
Al
of course it
Yankovic.
is. Of course it is.
It's just because it's a juxtaposition of Christmas and violence, and it's just funny.
All right. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready for it. It's so Christmassy and happy, right?
It's not terrible yet. Notice I
Right,
said
you're gonna
yet.
jump ahead a little bit
All right,
then
I'm
if
gonna
we don't
jump.
have a
Here
certain
we
amount of time. You ready?
Merry Christmas to all. Now you're all gonna die.
I'm sorry. What?
So the whole thing is about Santa just snaps and goes ballistic and kills
no.
everybody at the North Pole. But it's like super sweet and charming Christmas song.
All right. I have 3 more.
Me too.
Right?
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
So
And it's just silly.
since you went away from Jesus,
Okay.
I
Took a hard
will
Left
I will
turn.
also go away from Jesus,
Okay.
but a traditional Christmas song, maybe by a
Oh.
less traditional group for it. So the
Okay.
song is Winter Wonderland.
Okay.
Sleigh bells ring. Hey, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening.
Yeah, see? I'm going to skip forward a little bit.
I like it. Is this like Brian Setzer Orchestra?
This is the Brian Setzer Orchestra. Well done. I went through a phase where I loved swing music
too.
and big band. And so like Brian Setzer and
What? That was such a thing in the 90s. Like
was
I
such a thing.
love listening to a bunch of big band sweet music.
so this version of Winter Wonderland is the one I chose for today,
So
just because
fun.
again it's a little bit more upbeat, adds a different style, gets kind of musically genre-ly thinking differently.
Okay.
Genre-ly, there's a new word for you.
Genre-ly.
Nothing spiritual about that song,
Nope.
but I just like walking in a Winter Wonderland.
All right, so let's go a little. We'll take a right turn back to Jesus.
Thank you.
O come, Emmanuel. First of all, it's in a minor key, and that's always going to guarantee I enjoy it more. I love a good minor key Christmas song. I don't have a specific version in mind of this one, but I just like the melody. And again, it's still that Christmas idea of like waiting for Jesus
Okay.
that I really like.
How about this one?
Ooh. This is pentatonics.
And ransom captivity.
I don't know. This isn't my favorite pentatonic song.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's just okay. But yeah, you're right. I love that it's in the minor key.
Yeah,
The lyrics are obviously great.
right.
The Shane and Shane
Mm-hmm.
version that we
They're
just
great.
did at our Christmas
Yep.
concert, that's a really fun version as well. I should have looked up that
That
one.
one was weird because it's almost like a major key for a lot of it,
Right.
which changes it up a little bit. But yes.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Oh man, we're hitting our top tier ones now, at least for me.
Yeah,
These are
I'm gonna
where-
go to a traditional classic that I'm sure you have on your list.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna save my last one to be like, really, Matt? That's what you chose to like finish your top 10 list with?
Okay.
So I'll go with Oh Holy Night.
That was gonna be my top one. That's probably
Yeah.
that. If I know we're not ranking these, but that one is my favorite.
There's a lot of reasons
I
to like
love
this song.
Yeah.
Do you have a version?
I don't have a specific
Okay.
one I love the most. I just love a good. You got to really make sure they're hitting it.
You got it. You have to be a good singer. I do not sing this song for good reason. Starts off very just calm. We'll skip forward.
And I love that minor key hit on the chorus.
When the song is sung well, and you're like in person, when that note gets hit, I get chills every time. Every
time.
single time. Lex, you've sung it before. I've enjoyed it. I've gotten chills
Every time.
Every time. Who else? We've had a couple of people sing it here.
My nephew, Eli Brandt. If you're
Nice,
watching this right
nice.
now, we've heard you sing it very well.
So good. Yep.
Now-
It's really hard to do, but when you
Yes.
can get it and get it well, it's like, that's what I'm talking about.
One of the things that I think gets missed on that song as well is, again, the lyrics are awesome, and we've got this cool cross thematic thing happening because it's Christmas, right? It's the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining till he appears and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of joy, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. All right, so we're setting the stage. It's about the world has problems. Things are tough. There's sin. There's darkness, all these things, but Jesus comes in and saves it. We get to verse 3, and we add a whole
It's my
other
favorite.
element in there.
Yep.
Truly he taught us to love one another. His law is love and his gospel is peace. Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. So it's like this anti-slavery song in it. It's about how oppression is against God's heart. Like it carries all these bigger things into it, and it's all in a Christmas song.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
And then that last part, his power and glory evermore
Yes.
proclaim, right? Like that's what it's about. See, I should have let that one be our
See,
last
that's
one. I'm sorry,
that's
guys.
that's okay. That would have been my top one.
All right. It's your turn.
It's my turn,
Yep.
and then all right. So again, I don't have a specific version. I just like this song. God rest ye merry, gentlemen.
Okay. Why do you like it?
Minor key, fun melody.
That's a common theme
and
for you.
it is. I just love songs in minor keys, and it's a fun one to sing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just again, as soon as I hear it, I'm in a Christmas mood.
All right. I'll go classic singer.
It doesn't take much to.
God rest ye merry gentlemen.
Unique version, huh? This is Nat King Cole.
Remember,
I like it.
Now I'm also going to quickly play a more modern version.
This is just dramatic.
Yeah. Skip forward.
Yeah, see,
good
that's
one.
why I like it. Who's this?
This is Mercy Me.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a fun version.
I like it
a lot.
also.
Yeah.
Ooh, you hit that. Love it.
Yeah.
All right. So, this is your really, Matt? You're going to end. We had Oh Holy Night, and we've descended to this. Let's hear it.
No, I can't.
I've put a lot of. We put a lot on this.
So this little context. This was released the year I was born, so naturally it's going to be awesome. I'm just going to play it before I say another word.
in the world is happening here? It's very 80s.
Very 80s. He is our Prince of Peace, mighty God, Holy One. Skip forward some. You just kind of have this up and down action. All right, so this song is called Emmanuel. It's by our good friend.
We're good friends with
Not at all. Amy
Grant.
It's by
I was
Amy
going to say, that's
Grant.
Amy Grant, right? Goodness.
And yeah, I hesitated to put this on, but this song was on repeat like my entire childhood. So like it reminds me of, the simpler time. And like the whole song, all it is names of Jesus, right? Emmanuel, wonderful counselor, Lord of life, Lord of all, Prince of peace, mighty God, Holy One. Like that's it. That's the whole song.
That's fine.
And so
That's all
it's
good.
it's who is Jesus? Well, this is who he is. So it's fun.
Neither of us had anything from Handel's Messiah
We did not.
on here.
So there's kind of
That's our top 10. Now, before
You
we
have
get
some honorable mentions.
my honorable mentions are both stupid.
Okay.
First one is just funny and dumb.
Okay.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Oh my goodness.
Like-
that would make my top 10 worst songs ever.
It's terrible, but that's what makes it funny.
But I'll sing along every time it's on.
Exactly my point. Now, the next one.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
The next one on my honorable mentions, I like for the way it sounds, the way it's a perfect style parody of things like Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree without being a direct parody. It's one that culturally, this is another thing where you hear it and you might think of something different now than when he wrote it.
Okay.
We're again going back to our dear friend, Sir Weird Al Yankovic, and he has a song called Christmas at Ground Zero. Now, Ground Zero, if you hear it now, you think of 9/11.
Right. It was written before then.
This is written before then. And again, it's a juxtaposition of fun Christmas times and the end of the world.
Yep.
Now, yeah, you got to listen to this
I have
song.
heard this song.
Ready? But it's like such a holly jolly Christmas
it has
song.
so many elements from like other Christmas songs brought into
and
it.
so it's
And
its
a bomb.
own song, but it's recognized. And I've often thought about this, and this is one of the things that's the genius of Weird Al. How do you perfectly capture the essence of a song without directly parodying it and understanding what made it that? So what is it that makes it Christmas? It's maybe a chord progression. It's maybe the jingle bells.
It's jingle bells. You add jingle bells to any song and it's
but
Christmas.
it's like that saxophone. And then it does this chord progression part that's like dun, 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 and then dun, 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 dun. So like it does a stepping up thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Those of you watching us on YouTube, you'll notice it got a little bit darker. One of our overhead lights, the battery just died on it. So
yeah, it would be really cool if we
you
had
don't
like
have to adjust your phone stuff. It was us.
Electricity
it's
up
not
above
you,
us.
It's me. Speaking of it's not you, it's me. Here's 10 more songs that I really like that are not necessarily like traditional Christmas songs.
Let's rapid fire this.
Rapid fire.
Okay.
What's this? Literally, it's the name of the song. What's this from Nightmare Before Christmas, right? So I'll skip forward to when he starts right here.
What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. What's this? There's white things.
Spoiler
everywhere.
alert, one of my
What's this?
favorite
I can't
movies.
believe my eyes.
Okay.
Next one, Christmas This Year by Toby Mac. Again, not a traditional Christmas song, newer, but fun, upbeat.
We also
cool
didn't have 12 Days of
vibe.
Christmas on our list anywhere.
But wait, I'll get there.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's on my list. The reason I added it to this one is, all right, one more Toby Mac song real quick. This one is also with Owl City.
What? Toby Mac and Owl City did a song?
Light of Christmas.
I love it.
So good.
I love Owl City.
Yeah, he's just super fun. So Light of Christmas by Toby Mac and Owl City made my list.
I'm here for it.
12 Days of Christmas. The
But-
reason I put this on my less popular list is because it's Straight No Chasers version, where it's also like the mashup with Africa and like dreidel,
Wait,
dreidel,
what?
dreidel.
I don't know this one.
No, really?
First day of Christmas, my true love
This
gave
is
to
so good,
me
you guys.
a partridge in a pear tree. On the second day of
gonna skip forward.
Christmas, my
Okay.
in a pear tree. On the ninth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. My true love ladies dancing 8, ladies dancing 7, ladies dancing 6, ladies dancing 5. You better not shout, you better not cry,
Oh.
you better not in a pear tree on the ninth.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going.
Okay. What? This is awesome.
don't know this?
I've never heard this.
Day my true love gave to me. 12 drummers drumming
All right, so
That's so fun.
here's what's really fun.
Okay.
Again, Loveland High School Choir.
Yeah.
Their jazz choir every year at their Christmas concert, which was last night, does this song. And it's just hilarious. Everyone
I
laughs.
love it.
It's super fun.
Okay.
There's this part where they start singing really high. One of the guys does. Mason did that part. My oldest son, who's in the jazz choir, he did that last night, and it was just hilarious. So
I love it.
Real quick, I'm just gonna name them. I think at this point,
'Kay.
and you guys can look them up. Christ Our King by We Are Messengers.
'Kay.
Really good. Obviously, that's about Jesus. Just it's not a traditional one that you hear or do
Yeah,
in churches
I wouldn't
or
think
on the
of it
radio.
normally.
Believe from the Polar Express movie.
Oh,
Enjoy
okay.
that song. Hometown Christmas. This is a fun one. It's a collaboration between Switchfoot, Need to Breathe, and Judah. And
Your son?
No, not my son. Yeah, that'd be awesome. The King Has Come from Passion. We just did that at our Christmas concert. I really like that one. I added that to my non-traditional list this year. I Celebrate the Day from Reliant K. Reliant K has a fun Christmas album.
Okay.
I Celebrate the Day is a good one. And then I'm going to play this last one. This one, you're going to be like, Matt, you're a pastor and this is your favorite song. How can you? It's not my favorite. I just really like particularly
I'm sure I'm gonna
this
think
version.
it's awesome.
It's live.
It's all cold down along the beach. And the wind's whipping down the boardwalk.
I don't know this.
It's whipping down the boardwalk.
Hey, man! Hey, man! You guys know what time of year it is? What time? What?
This part just makes me laugh.
What is this?
Here comes the actual song.
Okay.
There you go.
Clarence, you been good or what? And you better watch out. You
Oh.
better not cry.
Who sings this?
This is Bruce Springsteen. He did this live. It's on one of his live albums. And it's just hilarious and fun, a little more obscure. Santa Claus is Coming to Town, if you didn't know that's what the song was. But yeah, that one tops, or like doesn't top out, but rounds out my top 10 slightly more obscure Christmas songs.
All right, I'm going to give you one more to play, just a snibble of.
Yep.
And it's the same thing. You don't necessarily think about this, but immediately puts me in a Christmas mood. Actually, there'd be two, but we'll leave it with this one. Yeah. The main theme from Home Alone.
Yes.
Very Christmassy. And by extension, you could say the main theme from Harry Potter also makes me think of Christmas.
Main title, I think.
But it's
is
also
this
John
one.
Williams for both of them. So, yeah.
Yeah. John Williams is so good. So good.
Doesn't this just make you feel like... And then you get the parallel minor.
Oh, man. All right.
So good.
I'm feeling a little better, you guys, about
I
Christmas
hope
right
that
now. Yeah.
cheers you up. Well, let's wrap that up. But again, if you want to let us know your favorite Christmas songs, email podcast@dfchurch.com. Podcast@dfchurch.com. Let us know your favorite Christmas songs. Now, in the same vein, we're going to real quick go through this because I'm feeling we're going long today. But
it's Christmas. This is our gift to you.
Christmas.
We're giving you extra content.
Merry Christmas. Our ChatGPT list. Again, as always, we ask ChatGPT to give us a top 10 list of something related to what we're talking about. Matt never knows ahead of time what we're going to be, and he gets to just live react. And in the spirit of today's theme, we asked the list of the top 10 most obnoxious and worst Christmas songs of all time and why. So the exact opposite of what it is.
Some of the Weird Al that you shared. I'm just going to continue. Yeah.
Number 10. I don't even know this song. Funky Funky Xmas.
I don't know that one either.
Reason. They gave me reasons. Nothing quite says Christmas like funky rhythms and a guy proclaiming funky, funky Christmas, funky, funky New Year. It's a festive disco disaster that should have stayed on the dance floor.
Oh, no. All right.
Okay. Number 9. Do they know it's Christmas? Reason.
Yes, they do.
Despite its charitable intentions, the song carries a patronizing tone, suggesting that people in Africa don't know it's Christmas
time at all. Yeah.
Plus, the 80s
song.
production is a bit much.
Or a bit great.
All right,
80s
number
are awesome.
8. Christmas Don't Be Late, the Chipmunk song.
Yeah.
High-pitched chipmunk voices sing about hula hoops and a plane that can only go 1 mile an hour. It's a recipe for a headache, not holiday cheer.
100%.
I like when he says, but I got a hula hoop. Okay, number 7. We listened to this today, Matt, and it made your list. Not in this episode, prior to this episode. Please, Daddy, don't get drunk this Christmas.
Yeah, so when I was like creating my list this morning, I was playing some songs that would not make my list for Nathan to listen to, and that was one of them. And right away he was like, that's so sad.
The reason it's on this list, a heartwarming plea for sobriety during the holidays. Nothing says festive like a child begging their dad not to overindulge in Christmas spirits.
It's so sad.
Okay, I don't know this one either. Number 6, The 12 Pains of Christmas. This parody takes a dark turn as it humorously lists the grievances of the holiday season. It's like the Grinch wrote a song and threw in jingling bells for good measure. Actually, that sounds awesome. No. I want to know what that one's all about.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, number 5, Santa Baby.
Santa Baby.
The whole I've been an awful good girl line walks the fine line between playful and cringeworthy. Are we talking about presents or something else here? It is a weird song, the way she sings it, and I don't like it.
On my long Christmas 46-hour playlist, one version of that does make it.
We have
because you have to.
And we have a Lex's mother's house. Under the tree, she's got a bunch of bears that do like Christmas songs and stuff like that.
And one sings that?
And one of them sings that.
Because it's a cute little
kinda
teddy
cute.
bear. It's cute. It's
Right.
not creepy.
All right, number 4 on the most obnoxious Christmas songs. Last Christmas by Wham. Wham!
Yeah, so Last Christmas is like one of the most popular Christmas songs of all time, and it is also one of the most obnoxious. Because, Nathan, we're talking about this. You don't understand the lyric. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away.
Right,
Like,
what does that even mean?
Yeah. If you've done some expository work on this, let us know what it means.
So the next one on the list, number 3, the Christmas shoes.
Yes, that's so annoying.
I don't know this one.
Loathe
Nothing
that
says
song.
Christmas like a depressing song about a child trying to buy shoes for his dying mother.
It is so
It's
stinking
like
sad.
they took a tragic country song and threw tinsel on it.
Yeah, so you know how I said I'm going to listen to that melancholy song, because that fits my mood right now? Christmas Shoes would probably just make me cry right now. It is a super sad song and does not scream Christmas spirit. It screams, buy that boy a pair of shoes for his mama.
Number 2, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. This one raises too many questions. Are we endorsing infidelity? Is Santa now a homewrecker? It's just a bit too scandalous for a festive tune. See, I think ChatGPT doesn't understand what the song...
Careful. Okay.
They don't-
We don't want to spoil any children's hopes and dreams for Christmas right now.
I just will say, I don't think ChatGPT understands what that song is about.
Right. Because it's quite possible that it is not infidelity whatsoever. It's a confused child starting to slowly see truth.
Are we gonna we'll just leave it at that. If you have questions, email us. podcast@dfchurch.com. We'll
If
let
you have
know.
questions, ask your parents.
What if they're old and they still don't know?
Ask your parents.
All right. And then number 1 of the most obnoxious Christmas songs. Matt, this one's just for you. Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Sweet.
It's the musical equivalent of a holiday crime scene. Who thought it was a good idea to turn grandma's tragic demise into a cheerful Christmas melody?
Dude, I love that.
ChatGPT, you're on point this time. This is all pretty good. Except we didn't have All I Want for Christmas Is You, which is the most obnoxious.
What's awesome is the grandma got run over by a reindeer. I loved that song as a kid. Not because I wanted my grandma to get run over by a reindeer, but it was just a fun, upbeat tragedy. That tells you a little into my childhood. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that was fun.
That's our ChatGPT section. Briefly, we're going to go to our listener mail. Again, you can email podcast@dfchurch.com. That's podcast@dfchurch.com. Just like our good friend Jeremiah did. He said, I love the unhinged side, which was funny and relatable. I appreciate the context reviews for biblical objections for Christmas and Christmas traditions. And then he lists a few things. Now he asks this question. As we passed Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, and Giving Tuesday, what are your thoughts about end-of-year giving to ministry versus throughout the year? Is the weekly, monthly giving more godly, or saving up and writing a big check better for the ministry, or is it both, i.e. giving a tithe or regular offering and then a special gratitude and recognition of God's blessing?
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. So there's something about the discipline of regularly giving your tithes to God that is important and matters. And from like a church leadership point of view, that's helpful for local churches to have that consistent revenue stream, right? If you just say, I'm not going to give it all until December and give this great big gift, that's awesome. But that makes it so the last 11 months, potentially your local church wasn't able to do the same type of ministry, right?
That's true.
And so, yeah, I think when he said the special gift blessing from, the bonuses that God has given type of thing, I don't remember his exact words. I think that's what it is. So that end of year gift is theoretically above and beyond your regular tithe.
Right.
It's like a tithe versus an offering or a gift type of thing.
Right.
Whereas there's the discipline of the tithe, I feel like, and then the overabundance generosity from God overabundantly blessing you as well. So yeah.
I love it. Awesome. Well, that's our listener mail for today. So please write in podcast@dfchurch.com. Let us know what you think. And next week we'll be back again. The topics, we're kind of shifting stuff around with the Christmas season in the air. So I don't have it for you nailed down yet, but we'll be back next week, and it should be fun. See you next week.
I guess.